Hello. So we're talking about design thinking. So what is design thinking? And you can see this double innovation diamond. We talked about this a little bit last session, in that when the diamond grows, you are creating possibilities. And then when it converges, you are choosing, right? It's a mixing up the divergent thinking with a convergent thinking, right? Very important. In creating possibilities and making sure that you don't have a linear thought where you are just drawing a line and it's just based on your assumption and just one possibility. So design thinking mostly goes through these three big phases, which is understanding, creating, and delivering. And it has it might change, might vary depending on the school of thought. Stanford or Harvard or MIT might have like different. There's some also in Europe, in England. But mostly what you're trying to do with design thinking is starting with your user. So you start empathizing. This is extremely important. You want to understand your user as best as possible, right? So in that empathy phase, this divergent thinking, what you're doing is you're gathering as much information as possible. Once you have all that information, you have to converge. How do you converge? You're looking for insights. What is that piece of information that when you bring together 2, 3, or 4 aspects that you've learned about your user, then you are unlocking some value, some insight that was not there before. This is what you're after. Once you have the insight, then you can start to create ideas and to ideate. Yes. So see that there's a process to this. It's not just you walking through a street and suddenly eureka, but there's a process. And what happens is usually when that happens, there's that eureka moment that you think it's random. You've been through these stages. You just haven't done it consciously or planned for it. So what we're doing now is we're planning for it, right? So we're gonna working on empathizing and then converging and looking for those insights. And in the define phase, it's called in this, the IDEO or Stanford methodology that we're looking at here. So then when you create, again, you want to create multiple possibilities, okay? Many ideas. And then to converge, you have to prototype and test, okay? So not every idea will work. You want to make sure that you're choosing the best ideas possible. So how do you know that? The best way to know is to go ahead and do it. So it's not gonna be a real solution until you implement it. In the meanwhile, it's just a hypothesis of a solution, sorry. Something really important about this process is it is not a linear process. It is circular, so it never really ends. All the time you're going back to your users to empathize, to understand, gain insights, and then you are exploring solutions, ideating, prototyping, testing, and you keep going. Notice that in this case, the words change a little bit, right? Understanding, exploring, and materializing, but very, very similar. The concept is the same. The concept is the same. So overall, what we're trying to do is, what is the problem? We want to understand what is the problem, and we're focusing a lot on this empathizing stage. So what is the problem? Or what are, maybe there's multiple problems, or there's a big problems and there is a subset of causes. We worked a little bit on this, okay? We're combining this. We're not leaving the PCSM behind. We're very much in that problem and causes area, okay? So what is the problem? Then we are defining and ideating. So we're looking for those insights and we are creating possibilities to solve the problem. Again, these are just possibilities to solve a problem. We're not solving it yet. We need to prototype and test and then explore, did I solve the problem? And that is why at the end of this lesson, we'll also be looking at measurements. So in the next set of videos, we'll be diving into empathize phases, ideation phases, and prototyping phases. So I'll see you in the next video.